The sharp crack of a slap echoed through the ornate church in upstate New York, silencing the string quartet midnote as the bride's hand connected with her stepdaughter's cheek. "You ungrateful little brat," the bride hissed, her veil trembling with rage, while guests gasped in horror. But before the sting could fully register on the young woman's face, her Aunt Phoebe surged from the pews, her voice booming like thunder. "That's enough, Sarah, this wedding ends now." Phoebe Hartman had always been the outlier in her conservative family, the one who traded small-town whispers for the bustling freedom of New York City. At 42, she was a successful graphic designer, living in a cozy Brooklyn brownstone with her partner, Rosalie Diaz, a 38-year-old literature professor at NYU. Their relationship was a quiet haven amid the chaos of life. Long evenings debating poetry over homemade tacos, stolen kisses during weekend walks in Prospect Park. But family ties pulled Phoebe back to the Hudson Valley, where her brother Michael was about to marry Sarah Kensington, a polished real estate agent who'd swept into their lives like a whirlwind 5 years ago. Emily, Michael's 19-year-old daughter from his first marriage, had been Phoebe's anchor since childhood. With their parents gone too soon, Phoebe stepped in as the cool aunt, the one who taught Emily to ride a bike and later, to navigate her confusing feelings about identity. Emily was straight, but she'd confided in Phoebe about everything, including her growing unease with Sarah. "She's not who she pretends to be, Aunt Phoebes," Emily had whispered during a recent phone call. "Dad doesn't see it, but she's controlling, manipulative." Phoebe dismissed it at first as teenage angst, but doubts crept in. Sarah had always been overly sweet to Phoebe, almost flirtatious, which made Rosalie uneasy. "There's something off about her eyes," Rosalie said one night, curling into Phoebe's side on their worn leather couch. "Like she's hiding a storm behind that smile." Rosalie, with her warm Puerto Rican heritage and sharp wit, had become Phoebe's rock after a string of failed relationships. They'd met at a book launch 3 years ago, bonding over shared love for Audre Lorde and strong coffee. Their love was deep, unhurried romantic gestures like surprise picnics in Central Park or slow dances in their kitchen to old jazz records. But as the wedding approached, tension built. Michael, a mild-mannered accountant, was blind to Sarah's flaws. "She's good for me, Phoebes," he'd said. "And for Emily, too. She needs a mother figure." Phoebe bit her tongue, focusing instead on supporting Emily, who was to be a bridesmaid. Rosalie encouraged her. "Family's messy, mi amor. Just be there for your niece." The rehearsal dinner in a quaint inn overlooking the Catskills set the stage for unease. Sarah, radiant in a silk dress, toasted to new beginnings, but her eyes lingered on Phoebe a beat too long. Later, as guests mingled, Sarah cornered Phoebe by the fireplace. "You've done well for yourself," Sarah purred, sipping champagne. "Rosalie seems devoted." Phoebe forced a smile, but the air felt charged, like static before a storm. That night, back in their hotel room, Rosalie held Phoebe close. "What's bothering you?" she asked, tracing circles on Phoebe's back. Phoebe sighed. "Sarah reminds me of someone from my past. Someone who broke my heart." She rarely spoke of her college love. A woman named Claire who'd left her for a normal life, marrying a man and vanishing into suburbia. Rosalie listened, her presence a balm. "You're safe with me," she whispered, their foreheads touching in the dim light. The wedding day dawned bright, the church in Rhinebeck filled with hydrangeas and sunlight streaming through stained glass. Emily looked ethereal in her lavender gown, but her eyes were shadowed. As the processional began, Phoebe sat with Rosalie, squeezing her hand. The vows started smoothly, Michael beaming at Sarah. But then, during the unity candle lighting, Emily fumbled the taper, knocking over a vase. Water splashed Sarah's hem. "You clumsy idiot!" Sarah snapped, her composure cracking. Before anyone could react, she slapped Emily hard across the face. The church fell silent. Emily reeled, a red mark blooming on her cheek, tears welling. Michael froze, stunned. Phoebe shot up. "Stop this now!" she shouted, striding to the altar. Guests murmured in shock. Sarah whirled, her face contorted. "This doesn't concern you, Phoebe." But Phoebe stood firm, her voice steady. "It does when you're hurting my family." Rosalie watched from the pew, pride and worry mixing in her eyes. As chaos erupted, ushers intervening, guests whispering. Phoebe pulled Emily aside, hugging her tight. "You're safe," she murmured. Michael approached, bewildered. What the hell, Sarah? But Sarah's mask slipped further, revealing the control freak beneath. In the vestry, tempers flared. Sarah accused Emily of sabotage. She's jealous. Always has been. Phoebe confronted her. This isn't about jealousy, it's about abuse. Michael, torn, looked between them. Rosalie joined, her calm presence grounding Phoebe. As revelations poured out, Sarah's verbal jabs at Emily, her demands for perfection, Michael's face hardened. Is this true? He asked Emily, who nodded through sobs. The wedding teetered on collapse. But deeper secrets loomed. Sarah, cornered, turned to Phoebe with venom. You think you're better? With your little girlfriend. The slur stung, but Phoebe held her ground. Little did she know. Sarah's past intertwined with hers in ways that would shatter everything. The fallout from the altar slap rippled through the church like aftershocks. Guests milled in confusion, some slipping out to their cars, while others hovered, whispering about the family drama. Phoebe guided Emily to a side room, Rosalie close behind, her hand on Phoebe's shoulder. A silent reminder of solidarity. Michael followed, his tuxedo rumpled, face ashen. Sarah stormed in last, her train dragging like a defeated flag. How dare you humiliate me? Sarah spat at Phoebe. This was my day. Phoebe met her gaze unflinchingly. Your day? You assaulted a teenager in front of God and everyone. That's not a wedding, it's a spectacle. Emily, still clutching her cheek, whimpered. Dad, she's always like this. Yelling, criticizing. I tried to tell you. Michael sank into a chair, rubbing his temples. Emily, why didn't you say something sooner? His voice cracked with regret. Rosalie knelt beside Emily, offering a tissue. It's hard to speak up when you're scared, she said gently. Phoebe admired Rosalie's empathy. It was what drew her in, that quiet strength forged from her own battles as a queer Latina in academia. As accusations flew, Sarah's facade crumbled. Fine. Emily's a spoiled brat who resents me. But Phoebe, you're the real problem. Always meddling with your alternative lifestyle. The word alternative dripped with disdain, igniting Phoebe's anger. My lifestyle? You mean loving who I love? That's rich coming from you, Sarah. Sarah's eyes narrowed. What do you mean? Phoebe hesitated, but the truth bubbled up. Years ago in college, Phoebe had a passionate affair with a woman who looked eerily like Sarah. Same sharp features, same ambitious drive. Claire had promised forever, but societal pressure won. She left Phoebe heartbroken, marrying a man to fit in. Phoebe had moved on, but the wound lingered. Rosalie sensed the shift. Phoebe, she prompted softly. Taking a breath, Phoebe revealed. Sarah isn't who she says. Her real name is Claire Simmons. We were lovers in college. The room froze. Michael's jaw dropped. What? Sarah Claire paled. That's a lie. But Phoebe pressed on. You changed your name, your story. But I recognized you the first time Michael introduced us. The way you laugh, that scar on your wrist from our ski trip. Claire denied it vehemently, but cracks showed. You're delusional, she hissed, but her voice wavered. Emily stared, piecing it together. So, you're gay? Or bi? And you left Aunt Phoebe for? What? A straight life. Claire's shoulders slumped. It was complicated. The 90s weren't kind to us. My family threatened to cut me off. I chose security. Michael stood, betrayal etching his features. You lied about everything? Your past, your exes, all men. Claire nodded miserably. I thought I could start over. Be normal. The word hung heavy, wounding Phoebe anew. Rosalie slipped her arm around Phoebe's waist, a protective gesture that spoke volumes. As the confrontation deepened, emotions surged. Phoebe felt a mix of vindication and sorrow. You broke my heart, Claire. And now you're hurting my family again. Claire's tears fell. I loved you, Phoebe. But I was scared. Marrying Michael. It was safe. Rosalie, ever the voice of reason, interjected. Love isn't about safety, it's about truth. Her words resonated, drawing from their own journey. Rosalie had come out late, after a failed heterosexual marriage, finding solace in Phoebe's arms. Their romance blossomed slowly, first as friends then lovers, navigating jealousy from exes and family judgments. But they built something real, attending pride parades hand in hand, hosting dinner parties for queer friends. Michael, reeling, excused himself to think. Emily hugged Phoebe. Thank you for stopping it. I couldn't take another day with her. As Claire gathered her things, she paused by Phoebe. I'm sorry for everything. Phoebe nodded, but forgiveness was distant. Outside, the sun dipped low, casting golden hues over the valley. Rosalie and Phoebe walked Emily to the car. What now? Emily asked. Phoebe smiled faintly. We heal. Together. But the betrayal lingered, a shadow over their bonds. Back in Brooklyn that night, Phoebe and Rosalie unpacked the day. I can't believe Sarah was your ex, Rosalie said, pouring wine. Phoebe sighed. Claire. And yeah, it's surreal. Rosalie cupped her face. Did it bring back old feelings? Phoebe shook her head. No. It reminded me how far I've come, with you. They kissed, a tender affirmation amid the storm. But Michael's call the next day shattered the calm. Phoebe, Claire's gone. She left a note, said she's moving to California, starting over for real. Relief mixed with pity. Emily moved in with Phoebe and Rosalie temporarily, the brownstone becoming a sanctuary. Rosalie taught her poetry, Phoebe shared design tips, forging deeper connections. Yet conflict brewed. Emily discovered old letters from Claire to Phoebe, hidden in a box. Aunt Phoebes, did you ever forgive her? She asked. Phoebe reflected. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's moving on. But doubts crept. Had Claire truly changed? Rumors swirled. Claire reached out via email begging for closure. Rosalie sensed Phoebe's turmoil. Talk to her if you need to, but remember us. Their love faced its first real test. Jealousy over a ghost. Phoebe reassured her. You're my present, my future. They spent a weekend in the Hamptons, reconnecting through beach walks and heartfelt talks, strengthening their bond. As weeks passed, Emily thrived, applying to colleges with Phoebe's encouragement. But a surprise visit from Claire upended everything, forcing buried emotions to surface. Claire's unexpected arrival at the brownstone 2 months later caught everyone off guard. She stood on the stoop, looking diminished in jeans and a simple sweater, far from the poised bride. Phoebe, I need to talk, she said, eyes pleading. Rosalie answered the door, her expression guarded. Is this a good idea? She asked Phoebe later, as Claire waited in the living room. Phoebe nodded, steeling herself. Emily was at class, mercifully absent. Why are you here? Phoebe demanded. Claire fidgeted. I can't stop thinking about us, about what I did. To you, to Michael, to Emily. Tears streaked her face. I was wrong. Hiding my truth destroyed everything. Rosalie lingered in the kitchen, listening. She trusted Phoebe but felt the sting of intrusion. Their relationship had deepened since the wedding. More intimate conversations, shared dreams of travel to Puerto Rico. But Claire's presence stirred insecurity. She's your first love, Rosalie confided that night. What if there's unfinished business? Phoebe pulled her close. You're my last love. That's what matters. The meeting unearthed painful memories. Claire admitted her bisexuality, suppressed for decades. After you, I tried to be straight. Married once before Michael, divorced quickly. Then him. Phoebe listened, empathy warring with anger. You could have chosen honesty. Instead, you hurt people. Claire nodded. I want to make amends. Starting with Emily. Phoebe arranged a mediated talk, with Rosalie as buffer. Emily, wary, agreed. At a neutral cafe in Greenwich Village, emotions ran high. You slapped me, Emily said flatly. Claire apologized profusely. I was projecting my frustrations. I'm so sorry. Emily softened slightly, but trust was fractured. Michael, now single and reflective, joined later sessions. Family therapy revealed layers. Michael's enabling, Phoebe's overprotectiveness, Claire's internalized shame. Rosalie supported from the sidelines, her wisdom invaluable. Healing takes time, she told Phoebe during a quiet evening stroll. But look at us, we made it through my divorce, your heartbreaks. Their romance infused the drama with warmth. Simple acts, Rosalie leaving love notes in Phoebe's sketchbook, Phoebe surprising her with tickets to a Broadway show, kept their flame alive. Friends marveled at their resilience. You two are goals, a colleague teased at a party. But betrayal struck anew. Claire confessed during therapy. I reached out to Phoebe before the wedding, not just as family, but hoping to rekindle something. Michael's face darkened. Phoebe was stunned. You what? Claire admitted sending anonymous emails testing waters. I was confused, lonely. Rosalie felt the blow hardest. You knew? She asked Phoebe privately. Phoebe shook her head. I deleted them, thought they were spam. But doubt seeded. Arguments ensued. Rosalie's jealousy flaring. Why didn't you tell me? Phoebe countered. Because it meant nothing. Their first major fight left them raw, sleeping apart. Emily, caught in the middle, urged reconciliation. You two are the stable ones. Don't let her ruin that. Phoebe reflected on her journey. From closeted youth to proud lesbian. Finding love with Rosalie. She apologized. I should have been transparent. Rosalie forgave, their makeup passionate yet tender, vows renewed over breakfast in bed. Claire, seeing the damage, decided to leave New York. I'll get help elsewhere, she said in farewell. Michael wished her well, focusing on rebuilding with Emily. Phoebe felt closure, but the experience deepened her appreciation for Rosalie. As fall turned to winter, life normalized. Emily enrolled at NYU, living nearby. Phoebe and Rosalie planned a commitment ceremony, small, intimate, in Central Park. No drama this time, Rosalie joked. But fate had one more twist. An old friend revealed Claire's new life in San Francisco, where she was openly dating a woman. She's finally free, the friend said. Phoebe pondered the humanity in it all. Flawed people seeking redemption. We all deserve second chances, she told Rosalie during a snowy walk. Their hands intertwined, symbolizing enduring love. Yet high drama loomed when Emily discovered she was pregnant. From a brief fling before the wedding chaos. What do I do? She panicked. Phoebe and Rosalie stepped up, offering support without judgment. We'll figure it out together, Phoebe assured. The news tested bonds anew. Michael was supportive but overwhelmed. Rosalie, drawing from her cultural roots, emphasized family unity. Babies bring joy, she said, her eyes sparkling. As Emily navigated decisions, Phoebe and Rosalie's relationship shone. Mentoring, loving, growing. But a health scare for Rosalie, a routine check revealing a lump, thrust them into fear. The doctor's call came on a crisp December morning, shattering the fragile peace. It's benign, Rosalie announced later, relief flooding her voice, but the scare had been real. Phoebe held her tight, tears mingling. I can't lose you, she whispered. The ordeal amplified their emotions, turning everyday moments into treasures. Cooking together, watching sunsets from their rooftop. Emily's pregnancy progressed, her belly rounding as spring bloomed. She chose to keep the baby with family backing. I'll name her after Grandma, she decided, honoring their late mother. Phoebe beamed, already planning Aunt Judy's. Rosalie, ever the educator, read parenting books aloud, her enthusiasm infectious. But lingering shadows from Claire persisted. A letter arrived. I've found peace. Thank you for showing me what real love looks like. Phoebe shared it with Rosalie, transparency now their mantra. She's moved on, Rosalie noted. So have we. Their commitment ceremony in May was magical. Cherry blossoms fluttering in Central Park, friends and family gathered. Emily, glowing at 7 months, stood as witness. Michael gave a toast. To love in all forms. Phoebe and Rosalie exchanged vows, rings glinting in sunlight. You saved me, Phoebe said. Rosalie replied. We saved each other. Life hummed with purpose. Phoebe's design firm thrived, landing a campaign for LGBTQ+ rights. Rosalie published a paper on queer literature, dedicating it to Phoebe. Emily gave birth to little Ava in July, a squalling bundle of joy. The brownstone echoed with cries and laughter, Rosalie cooing in Spanish lullabies. Yet conflict resurfaced when Emily's ex, the baby's father, demanded involvement. I want custody, he threatened via lawyer. Panic ensued. Phoebe rallied, hiring an attorney. We'll fight this, she vowed. Rosalie researched precedents, her academic mind sharp. Court dates loomed, tensions high. Michael supported financially, but old wounds reopened. His guilt over the failed wedding fueling determination. I won't let my granddaughter suffer, he said. Amidst the custody battle, Phoebe and Rosalie's bond was tested. Late nights arguing strategy left them exhausted. Are we in over our heads? Rosalie wondered. Phoebe reassured. Together now. Their romance endured stolen moments of affection, like a surprise date to the Met, reaffirming their connection. The hearing was dramatic. The ex, a flaky musician, painted Emily as unstable. But witnesses, including Phoebe and Rosalie, testified to her strength. Emily's family is her rock, Phoebe stated. The judge ruled in Emily's favor, granting primary custody with supervised visits. Victory brought catharsis. We did it, Emily sobbed, hugging them. Ava's first smile sealed the joy. As summer faded, reflection set in. Phoebe wrote in her journal, "Love isn't perfect, it's resilient." Rosalie agreed, their evenings now including baby cuddles. But a final betrayal emerged. Digging through old files for the case, Emily found evidence. Claire had anonymously tipped off the ex about the pregnancy, hoping to stir trouble. Why? Emily demanded in a confrontation call. Claire admitted. Jealousy. Seeing your happy family. It hurt. Phoebe felt the sting but chose compassion. Let it go, she advised Emily. She's her own prison. Rosalie nodded. Forgiveness frees us. The experience humanized their story, flaws, growth, redemption. Phoebe and Rosalie traveled to Puerto Rico. A delayed honeymoon, basking in beaches and culture. This is us, Rosalie said, waves lapping. Phoebe kissed her. Forever. Back home life flourished. Emily pursued studies, Ava thriving. Michael dated again, cautiously. Phoebe's family, once fractured, mended through shared trials. In quiet moments, Phoebe marveled at the journey. From altar chaos to this tapestry of love. Who knew a slap could lead to healing? She mused. Rosalie smiled. Drama has its purpose. As Ava's first birthday approached, they planned a party. Symbol of new beginnings. But whispers of Claire's return to New York hinted at unresolved threads. Claire's reappearance was subtle. A coffee shop sighting by a friend, then a direct message to Phoebe. Can we meet? For closure. Rosalie urged caution. You've given enough. But Phoebe, ever the optimist, agreed to a public park bench in Brooklyn. Under autumn leaves, Claire looked transformed, calmer with a rainbow pin on her lapel. I'm out now, she said. Dating someone wonderful. Therapy helped. Phoebe listened, a mix of wariness and relief. I'm glad. But why reach out? Claire sighed. To truly apologize for the slap, the lies, the tip-off to Emily's ex. Phoebe's eyes widened. You admitted it? Claire nodded. I was bitter. Seeing your life. It mirrored what I could have had. The confession bridged gaps. I forgive you, Phoebe said, meaning it. But boundaries stay. Claire agreed, parting with a hug, platonic final. Sharing with Rosalie that evening, Phoebe felt lighter. It's over. Rosalie pulled her into a dance, music soft. Our chapter shines brighter. Their love, forged in fire, was unbreakable, romantic whispers, shared dreams of adoption someday. Emily, now a confident mother, thrived. Thanks to you too, she told them at Ava's party. Michael raised a glass. To family, chosen and blood. Laughter filled the air. Ava toddling between legs. The story's arc closed with humanity. No villains, only people navigating pain. Phoebe reflected on her lesbian journey. From hidden college flings to proud partnership. Rosalie, her anchor, embodied grace. In a poignant twist, Claire sent a baby gift. Anonymously at first, then revealed. Emily accepted, a gesture of peace. Everyone deserves redemption, she said. As winter returned, Phoebe and Rosalie sat by the fire, hands entwined. What a year, Phoebe murmured. Rosalie smiled. And many more. Their kiss sealed the narrative, love triumphing over drama. A testament to resilience. The end wasn't tidy but hopeful. Family bonds, once shattered, rewove stronger. Phoebe's stand at the altar sparked change, proving one act of courage could ripple into profound healing. In the heart of America, amid bustling cities and quiet valleys, their story echoed. Love in all forms endures.